Global Positioning System was designed and built by the United States Air Force to provide global, all-weather navigation and timing information to United States and allied military users. GPS receivers have made many of the things we do easier and more efficient. They give us driving directions on the road and help pilots safely navigate the skies. They have changed the way we live. They have also changed the way we fight. GPS has revolutionized military operations. The accuracy, security, and reliability of military GPS gives U.S. and allied forces an asymmetric advantage over the enemy. This advantage allows our soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen to accomplish more with smaller forces than was ever possible before. But our warfighters can only take full advantage of military GPS when they use the right equipment, a military GPS receiver with a current crypto key. Unfortunately, for many units, there are not enough military GPS receivers to go around, or the ones that are available are old and heavy and lack the digital maps and ease of use offered by many commercial receivers. When faced with the choice between a commercial GPS receiver and no GPS, or an outdated military model, many soldiers and Marines are purchasing their own commercial GPS receivers for use in the field. The small size and light weight of commercial GPS units makes them even more appealing. These commercial GPS receivers are meeting our forces' immediate need for situational awareness in the field, and the soldiers who use them credit commercial GPS receivers for saving American lives and defeating the enemy in Operations Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. But what worked in the last war may not work in the next war. We learn many lessons in battle, but so does the enemy, and one of the clearest lessons of recent combat experience is this. GPS receivers are now targets for enemy electronic attacks. Not in some far-off future battle, but today. GPS receivers were attacked by enemy jamming in OIF, and they will be targeted and attacked in every future conflict. GPS satellites orbit 12,000 miles above the Earth and transmit a very weak radio signal, roughly equivalent to a 40-watt light bulb. Each GPS satellite transmits two signals, a secure, encrypted signal exclusively for military users and a non-secure civilian signal. Military GPS signals are encrypted for security. They are broadcast on two separate frequencies and provide better accuracy than civilian signals. They are also designed to resist electronic attacks. Electronic attacks target all GPS receivers, military and commercial, but unlike military GPS receivers, commercial GPS receivers are extremely vulnerable to all forms of electronic attack. So what are the risks of using civilian GPS receivers? Commercial GPS receivers have several major vulnerabilities. When civilian GPS receivers get jammed, they die. Commercial GPS receivers can report false positions. Some commercial GPS receivers broadcast their location over a non-secure radio network. Let's examine GPS jamming first. To demonstrate the vulnerability of commercial GPS receivers to jamming, we jammed a number of civilian GPS receivers and videotaped the results. This is the first civilian GPS receiver before jamming. It is tracking 11 GPS satellites and has an accurate solution. The jammer is applied when the counter reaches 0. This receiver is off the air, completely disabled by jamming in just a few seconds. This is another civilian GPS receiver from a different manufacturer subjected to the same jamming. Different receiver, different manufacturer, same result. The truth is, any civilian receiver is vulnerable to jamming. All of them. These receivers will not track GPS satellites again until the jammer is eliminated or you move away from it. Not all GPS receivers die at the first sign of jamming. Military GPS receivers, such as the Dagger, track the secure military GPS signals and are designed to operate through jamming. Take a look at how the Dagger performs in the same jamming that took the civilian GPS receiver off the air. The Dagger detects the jamming and provides a pop-up warning to the user. It then continues to navigate in the jamming environment. A civilian GPS receiver can't do either of these things. To prove this is a fair test, let's see the dagger and a commercial receiver again, side by side, getting hit with the same jamming. The dagger keeps on working after the civilian receiver dies. The dagger gives the jammer warning and continues to navigate. The dagger, like all military GPS receivers, has a clear advantage over commercial GPS receivers in a jamming environment. But a military GPS receiver, whether in an aircraft, a tank, a ship, or a soldier's hand, can only take advantage of the secure military GPS signals when it has a current crypto key. If a military GPS receiver is used without a current crypto key, it performs no better than a commercial GPS receiver when it is hit with jamming. To illustrate this, take a look at a keyed dagger on the right and an unkeyed dagger on the left in the same jamming scenario we showed earlier. The keyed dagger continues to operate as before, but like the commercial receivers, the unkeyed dagger can no longer be used for navigation because it is forced into a search mode by the jammer and stops updating its position. Under certain conditions, commercial GPS receivers can provide false and potentially misleading position information to the user. Some warfighters are using commercial GPS receivers to compute target location coordinates based upon their position and the range and azimuth to the target. If the user's GPS position is accurate, the target coordinates will be accurate. But if the commercial GPS receiver gives the user a false reading for his location, the target location coordinates based on this false position will also be wrong by the same amount. This could result in collateral damage, or worse. False position readings can be caused by enemy electronic attack or a GPS satellite signal anomaly. But whatever the cause, a civilian GPS receiver is more likely to report a false position than a military receiver with a current crypto key. The final vulnerability we will examine affects a certain model of commercial GPS receiver and is perhaps the most serious. Certain commercial GPS receivers, such as the Garmin Rhino, feature built-in two-way radios. These combined GPS comm devices broadcast the user's coordinates to everyone within range over a non-secure, unencrypted radio network every time a voice transmission is sent. The radio's transmission can be intercepted by anyone with the same model of radio simply by using the built-in channel scanner. Once the radio signal is intercepted, the other user can display the coordinates of the sender and can use those coordinates to target the sender or navigate to the sender's position. These devices are available to anyone, anywhere. The risk of using this GPS radio for military operations in hostile territory should be clearly understood by anyone who considers using it. The warfighter in hostile territory faces many threats each day, and GPS jamming is only one of them. Our soldiers deserve the best equipment, and they will continue to use whatever they need to get the job done. But they should fully understand the risks of each piece of gear they carry with them. There will always be an urgent need for situational awareness on the battlefield, and commercial GPS receivers have helped meet that need in the past. But the short-term benefits of commercial GPS receivers must be balanced against the long-term risks, especially if our military forces become dependent on these extremely vulnerable devices. The risks may not seem great now, but the enemy knows how much the U.S. military depends on GPS, and they have started to attack it. The risks of using commercial GPS receivers for military operations are very real, and they are here to stay. In situations where precise, accurate navigation and situational awareness are critical, mistakes can have deadly consequences. Will your commercial GPS receiver be there when you need it? Are you willing to bet your life on it, or those of your fellow soldiers? GPS receivers are now electronic warfare targets. The threats to GPS are increasing. Civilian GPS receivers put warfighters at risk. A military GPS receiver with a current crypto key is your best defense. Understand the risks and make an informed decision when choosing a GPS receiver.